Hello and welcome to another episode of the Press Box Hat Trick. I'm your host, Peter Vrionis, and today I'm joined by Evan Milner, who knows pretty much everything there is to know about sports, so it definitely won't be the last time I have him on. My guy, thank you for being here.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, can't wait to talk some baseball, man. I just want to get it started with the potential split season of the Tampa Bay Rays. We're both big baseball guys. We love to talk ball. But what do you think? What do you think about having the Rays play half of their home games in Montreal?
I think it's exciting for baseball. It's exciting for Montreal. It's still a few years away. I think it's planned for like 2027 or 28, something like that.
Yeah,
It's interesting to see how it's going to work out. I would imagine it's going to be sort of first half there, second half here, something like that. I don't think they'll go back and forth week to week. Um, but yeah, it'll be exciting to have baseball back in Montreal. You know, Montreal is such a great sports city, and we've been waiting for this for a long time. Of course, with the Expos, with the departure of the Expos back in the '90s. So yeah, it's exciting times, and of course, the Rays are a good team right now. We'll see how they are in a few years from now. But regardless, just having baseball back in Montreal will be something for fans to look forward to.
yeah. Well, the way they were actually breaking it down was that they were saying they would start the season in Tampa Bay, so March, April, probably most of May in Tampa or St. Pete, and then the rest of the summer they would play in Montreal. So that's how they would break it down. I mean, the thing with me is that I just don't know if you could get buy-in. Like, I know that they want to have fans, they want to have two packed stadiums, but how do you get a team to buy in to a roster that's not even theirs? Like, how do you get a city to buy into a roster that's not theirs?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, like Tampa, I don't see them packing the stadium ever, no matter how long they're there. Um, yeah, every single time the Blue Jays play there, it's an empty. This Tropicana field is just empty. Um, I think at least for the first few seasons in Montreal, there'll be fans in the stadium. We're still waiting to see where that stadium will be because the Olympic Stadium is not going to cut it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think also that's going to depend on how good the team is. If the team's good, I don't see why the fans wouldn't buy into it. But um, if they're not, then yeah, I can see it being an issue.
Yeah, that success always plays a huge role in that. But I don't know, like it's just it's skeptic. Like I'm skeptical because the Expos when they were here, they sold their team. You know, they were getting rid of their players. It was like a fire sale. You couldn't even have 4,000 to 5,000 people in the stadium. Like it was hard to count that many people in the stadium. And I'm afraid that the same thing's going to happen. Like the owners of the team, they might, they might dismantle the squad and just try and look to relocate while they're buying time in Montreal, so the team might not be as good as they are right now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we're past those days. And like another thing is, I don't know how the budget's going to work. Are there going to be co-owners? I would imagine. Does that mean because as we know, the Rays have one of the smallest budgets in the majors right now. That hasn't seemed to affect them in the last few years, at least. But who knows if that co-ownership can bring in more money? Maybe we'll see them bring in more talent and. Subsequently that'll lead to better records. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, I'll never say no to baseball in Montreal, but I have my doubts. I definitely have my doubts for sure. It's not set in stone.
Fair
Um,
enough.
so I do want to talk about something that did happen, or something that we're close to right now. The Blue Jays. They had a great end of their season. They almost squeaked into the playoffs. They were not in Toronto all year long. They were playing in 3 different stadiums. So I'm sure that played a part as to why they got off to a bit of a slow start. But uh, how did you take that Blue Jays run towards the end of the season? It was pretty fun. It was pretty electric to see.
Yeah, for sure. That's the most meaningful and exciting baseball that they've played since their run in 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, both years.
Yeah, both years. Okay, exactly. Yeah, it was crazy. You can tell the entire country was kind of invested into that run, at least for the last couple of weeks down the stretch there. But I don't know. It's been like we've had a week to kind of digest the fact that they didn't make the playoffs, and it's like even now it's still like a like tough pill to swallow. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
I almost say it's hard to. I understand why they didn't, but at the same time, it's hard to accept because the the talent's there, and I don't think there's any denying the fact that they are a playoff team.
yeah. Well, let's just agree to let's agree. Fuck the Nationals. All right, let's get that out of the way.
Yeah,
Fuck that entire organization. They took our expos, and now they're making sure the Jays don't make the playoffs. Like I want nothing to do with them. I'm never cheering for them, even if I have to ever again. That's all
yeah.
I'm going to say.
Yeah, and the way they did it too just added a little bit of salt to the wound, giving up a 5-1 lead, and I don't even want to talk
It
about
just
that.
had to be the Red Sox, right? It had to be
Yeah,
the Red Sox.
mind you, rather I was happy the Sox beat the Yanks in that wild card game. I'll take the Sox over the Yanks, but regardless, I think the Jays are better baseball teams than both of them. So
I agree. There's just a lot of external factors that played into why the Jays are not playing in October right now. Like, I think down the stretch of the season, they were probably the best team in the league, aside from the Giants or the Dodgers.
I would say that they were definitely playing better than the Dodgers, maybe not the Giants, but
Yeah, but
Dodgers
talent-wise,
they were facing their bit of
talent-wise,
adversity there.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I agree, especially in the American League. I think they were hands down the best team in baseball in the last couple of months. There, once they acquired Barrios and once Manoa came up, and they got some depth in the bullpen there. They were tough to beat.
yeah. And we were actually talking about this the other day. They have a lot of key free agents that might be leaving, that might be staying. We don't know. And you already gave me your answer, but who are you prioritizing if you're the Blue Jays between Robbie Ray and Marcus Semien?
When we were talking about this the other day, I said Robbie Ray, but I've kind of thought about it a little bit harder, and I think I'd bring back Simeon over him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like we were talking about, Ray's season kind of, I want to say it was a fluke, but
Never did it before.
yeah, and there's still a little bit, I guess, uncertainty around him. I think teams will learn how to, I guess, hit him, if you will. Meanwhile, we know what Simeon's going to give you every year, and yeah, I think of course you want to bring them both back if you can. But if I had to choose one, I'm bringing Simeon back.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you could expect 45 jacks and 100 RBIs from Semien every year, but he's definitely a guy that's going to be in the lineup every day. He's a good leader to have in your clubhouse. And with Alek Manoah coming up, Nate Pearson getting healthy again, hopefully he could stay healthy. I think the Jays have enough pitching to replace Robbie Ray because at the end of the day, he's a two-pitch pitcher, fastball slider, plays in the American League East. It's going to get figured out eventually. I would think so, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think more than anything, they gotta look out for guys in the bullpen, man. If they would have figured out their bullpen in, let's say, June or late May, early June, I think for sure they would have been in the playoffs, and I would even go as far as saying they'd be contending for the AL East division champs with the Rays. Because once they brought in Simber and Trevor Richards and a few of the other guys there, their bullpen was a million times better. You know what I mean? It makes a difference. The
Yeah,
Jays had one of the best run differentials in the entire league, and what that tells me is that they were losing those close
close
1 or 2
games.
score games. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
oftentimes that'll come down late in games to where the bullpen comes in.
yeah. When you're trotting out Dolis and Chatwood to close out games, you're not going to get it done. And they blew so many games. Probably could have been a 105 win team, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not even over exaggerating. Like, we blew that many games, whether it be defense, pitching. Uh, it, it, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about the MLB playoffs right now. Even though our Jays aren't in it, there have been some pretty good games, and actually one former Jay starred the other day for the Milwaukee Brewers. Rowdy Tellez hit a 2-run homer. Milwaukee Brewers ended up winning 2-1 in that game. It's pretty electric. I was fired up to see that. And there's been a lot of good games. I'm liking the Red Sox and Tampa Bay Rays series. I'm also loving the Dodgers and the Giants. First time they've ever met in the playoffs, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. So we got a close eye on that series for a good reason. And Dan would be proud if he was here for sure. But yeah, who do you want to see go deep in the playoffs?
Who do I want to see go deep?
Yeah.
I want to see the Giants go deep.
Okay. Any particular
reason
or what?
Particular reason, or well, I mean, I don't think anyone saw them even being in the playoffs this year. I think their over/under was at like 76.5 wins or something, or something like that. It's something ridiculous number.
Yeah.
And it would be cool to see this kind of Cinderella story, go all the way. I mean, we know they've won it, I think, 3 times in the past decade or so, but regardless, just they're still the underdog, and they finished with the best record in the majors this year. So in the NL, I'd like to see them pull it off. If I had to pick a team in the AL, I think I got to go with the Astros.
You want the Astros?
I don't necessarily want to see them. I think they will be the team that ends up in the World Series.
Okay.
I think they're built for the playoffs. They just kind of seem to come in clutch always. They have the hitting, they have the offense, they have the pitching. They're dismantling the Chicago White Sox right now.
Yeah. Say all you want about the Houston Astros and their cheating scandal, but they're a legit ball club. I don't like them, but man, they could play some ball.
Yeah.
And as for the Giants, I mean, they just have guys that are just having resurgent years, like Buster Posey, Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford. All those guys, like, they were key cogs in those championship teams in the 2012, 14, and no, 2010, 12, and 14. Like, they were the key guys. And now they're looking like their old selves again. You got guys like Logan Webb, who's become an ace in the MLB. You got Kevin Gausman, who was on the Orioles, for God's sake, and now he's pitching for the Giants, the first place MLB leading Giants. It's just a great story, and when Dan's smiling, I'm smiling.
Let me tell you, he was smiling last night.
He was smiling last night. He was happy for sure.
Sponsored by Bud Light.
Yeah. Yes. Before the playoffs, I actually picked Rays and Dodgers rematch in the World Series. I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, I hope the Dodgers lose. Fuck the Dodgers. I mean, they win enough. They're in the mix enough. But yeah, Giants and Rays. Who would have predicted that at the start of the season? Maybe the Rays, but definitely not the Giants.
No, definitely not. No.
Yeah. So yeah, the World Series prediction. You got the Astros and Giants.
I got the Astros and the Giants.
And who's taking it?
I'm gonna say the Giants take it in Game 7.
Ooh.
I want to see it. It's gonna be it'll go to Game 7. If it's Game 7, it's gonna be in San Fran. That'll be electric.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
Who's MVP?
The MVP. I gotta go with my boy Chris Bryant. I've always liked Chris Bryant.
Love KB. Hit a clutch homer yesterday.
Yeah.
3-zip win for the Giants. So yeah, I got the
Four zip, no? Four zip.
yeah, yeah. And I also, you know what? I'm gonna stay with my prediction. Dodgers and Rays. And I said Wander Franco was gonna win World Series MVP. Sticking with it.
I like that. I'd be happy with that too. Wander
I love
Franco,
that guy,
rookie.
man. And hey,
Totally
who knows? If the Rays come here by 2027,
be in his prime.
yeah, he's gonna be in his prime and he's still under contract, technically, unless they change the CBAs. So we might get to see Wander Franco in Montreal.
Future MVP.
Definitely.
Not far from it already.
Not a doubt in my mind. Well, Evan, it was a blast. Thank you so much for being here, my guy. I really appreciate it. And, we'll do this again soon.
All right. Thanks for having me.
No problem.